Now then, this is video number 4 for Unit 6 of BTEC Nationals IT, and we're going to look at types of programming language. We've talked about paradigms, programming paradigms, and confusion about programming paradigms kind of arrives mainly because some languages might fit into more than one paradigm, which is confusing straight away. So, for example, VB.NET could be deemed as being procedural because we can write procedures in it. It could be deemed as event-driven because we put on objects such as buttons and text boxes onto our software and then double-click on them to write the code for such events. And is also deemed as object-oriented because the way that you can program in VB.NET now allows you to program objects. So there is some confusion there. We'll get ready for some more confusion, because on the BTEC syllabus they would like you to be able to understand things called types of language, and again there is some crossover between types of language and paradigms, so the confusion gets worse. The different types of language are visual programming languages, markup languages, and scripting languages. So a little bit more about each of those just now. Visual programming languages could also be known as event-driven programming because they have graphical user interface objects such as buttons, text boxes, menus, etc., which can be programmed. So examples of visual programming languages are VB.NET, something called Ball and Delphi, or even Android App Inventor for creating mobile phone apps for the Android platform, and there's a screenshot of that there. Markup languages, these are not true programming languages. They don't have things like condition or iteration, looping statements, so that programs can make decisions and provide interactivity for the person using them. They merely provide a presentation layer, a format and layout to programs or user interfaces. So what this means is they just allow you to put text onto a web page and pretty colours and fonts and pictures, etc., but they don't allow for any complexity really. Examples of markup languages are HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, and XML, Extensible Markup Language. HTML is usually pretty well known. It was the first language used to create web pages, and we can go onto any web page on the internet. We can right click on it and we can go to View Source in your web browser, and you'll get to see all the HTML that makes up the web page and all the tags and properties of tags that do that. Scripting languages, these are things that actually do add some true programming to web pages. They allow for things like decisions and interactivity. Examples of scripting languages include JavaScript. There's an example of some JavaScript. But also VBScript, which is like another flavor of Visual Basic, just to add some more confusion. It's like a cut down version of Visual Basic for web browsers. And something called PHP, which we'll look at more in a future video. To give yourself some further research, you could find examples of code written in all of those languages mentioned and see what similarities there are between each one. Cheers for now.